I'd like to call this meeting of the Board of Selectmen to order. Before I take up any agenda items, I'd just like to publicly offer the board and the community's condolences to Mr. John Croswell upon the recent passing of his father, Sifa, who many of us have known, me, all my life. Just recognize again his many years of public service to this community. His warm smile, sagely advice, and I'm sure he helped mentor Mr. Smith down at the police department once in a while, and Mr. Rowe worked with him in conjunction with Mr. Vino knew him as a fellow officer, Mr. Megan too, and the members of the board went to the services, and Mr. Rowe and I were at the funeral the other day. What I'd like to do, permission of the members of the board, is just read a letter that the board is going to send, and have a copy here for signature of the members of the board, to Mr. John Croswell. The Board of Selectmen wishes to send its condolences regarding the recent passing of your father, Ellsworth Sifa Croswell. The board shares many warm memories of your father's devotion to this community through his involvement with the North Reading Police Department, the Auxiliary Police, Rotary Club, Citizen Scholarship Foundation, and youth sports organizations. His presence in this town, whether as a local business owner or civic volunteer, has greatly enhanced the lives of many citizens of this town. Many individuals in this community share your loss, and it is our hope and our heartfelt thoughts that our heartfelt thoughts will offer you comfort at this time. Very truly yours, North Reading Board of Selectmen, and each member of the board will sign it. We'll send it off to Mr. Croswell. Again, Sifa served many years as a sergeant, acting chief.
Yeah, I would just like to add to that, he's one of a kind. He was definitely one of a kind. There's no question about that. And I had the pleasure of working with him for about 11 years, and he was truly a remarkable police officer in this town. He did a lot of things for the community that never get compensated for, and he was just, whenever you needed a guy to give you a hand, he was always there. And it's a loss of a real good friend, and he will be missed. You put it very well, Mr. Chairman.
With his passing, a lot of history and stories went with him. You know?
Yeah, I could tell you stories for 3 weeks about them.
Many that he shared with us over the years.
If you did them today, we'd all be locked up. Unfortunately.
But it is, again, we fondly remember him, and certainly we'll miss his presence in the community. With that, motion to acceptance of minutes, December 18th. Mr. Bagan.
Mr. Chairman, I motion we accept the minutes of December 18th, 2000. I'm sorry, yeah.
There you go.
Second. You've got the motion.
Get the motions right there. Motion duly made and seconded. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Those opposed? Unanimous. Correspondence. Members have a listing of correspondence. If you'd like to see a copy right now, I'd be happy to share it with you. If you'd like a hard copy, just circle the indicated piece of correspondence you'd like to see, and then we'll make sure that you get a copy. Anything else set?
I think just one quick thing on the correspondence, maybe the town administrator can update us on the Maritimes. Is there any, do you have it under your town administrator's report?
I was going to bring my town administrator's report.
That's fine.
I'd be more than happy to share it with...
No, that's fine. Unless you want to do it now, where it's under correspondence.
Your option.
Okay.
Mr. Younger.
I am meeting tomorrow morning with another update with John Bonsell, Wayne Markey, Iris Singer, and myself. A meeting to discuss where they are at this point regarding the variations. After that meeting, I can come back with basically where we expect that they'll be heading in the variation. We have a good feeling where they are pushing toward, but we want to discuss it amongst the three of us with John Bonsell.
Fine. Yep. Very good, Tom.
At this meeting, will one of the residents that were here that was interested in working, will they be allowed to go to that meeting?
No, this is just with the attorneys and the town managers of the appropriate communities.
Okay. I don't have any problem with sharing the information with the residents who are going to be part of the subcommittee either after. In other words, report to us and inform them also as to where you feel the matter's being, which way it's going to be handled. We'll share the information with them after the meeting.
If they'd like to, I'd rather have them be allowed to go to the meeting, if there's anybody that's interested.
This is a meeting of the administrators and attorneys at this particular point. And my guess is to strategize a bit on behalf of the community's joint support and see test the feasibility of it, I would assume.
Right, this is not an open meeting where we're pitting sides against other sides about where to go. We're hopefully going to just come to a consensus where it's in the best interest of all three communities. And report back to our appropriate bodies.
Well, I still,
I understand your point.
right, I would, if they are willing, and somebody is willing from that group that came up here that have obviously a direct interest, if they're willing to go, maybe even just as an observer, I'd like to see that prerogative given to them.
I think the problem is it's not a public meeting, it's more or less a negotiation type thing.
Well, I'd still like to see them, I know maybe it is negotiation type or whatever. I just personally feel that they have a direct interest in somebody that's going to be obviously, depending on what happens, could be directly affected by it. Like if they're willing to put the time into it and go, I would like to see that prerogative given to them. Unless there's a legal reason that they cannot absolutely go. And maybe nobody would be interested. I'm just saying, if they are, if anybody in that group is interested and would like to go, I would like to have them have the prerogative going.
Again, my perspective on it at this point is I think the appropriate administrators should handle it at this particular juncture, and then we can have another wide-ranging body or informative session with members of the board and residents of the community as far as the updating and where we're at, and strategy session as far as what action we should take based upon where we're at. That's just my own feeling. In other words, I don't necessarily want to see everybody who's interested in it involved in every single meeting at every juncture. I'd like to see them at appropriate times.
Well, I think when they were here, we discussed possibly having one of two of them being actually named from that neighborhood as representatives. And I believe there was one gentleman said he'd be willing to do that and was interested in doing it. And I'd like to see that carried through.
I don't even see any need at this particular point of any member of the board being present at this point. I'd like to have the various administrations talk amongst themselves and then come back with hopefully a unified voice as to what the strategy is and then get together. But at that point, I have no problem with involving members of the community. But that's my own. I don't know what the other members of the board feel.
No, I agree. I think at this point, the town administrator should be the one handling it. I'm sure these people will get a chance to at the appropriate meetings.
Mr. Dagan?
Yeah, I agree. We should make sure that it's in the paper, that they see, so that when we review what goes on, they should be able to be here. And if they have anything, they should call into any concerns in advance, call the town administrator.
Smith, any feelings from
No, I'm all set, I think it's perfectly in line with what they're doing.
I appreciate your comments and your...
But I think, like Mr. Rose talked, I think there was like an ad hoc group of people that were going
This
to
isn't
go
the
together
ad
and
hoc.
meet at various public hearings and public sessions and stuff like that. But I don't think it necessarily has to follow through with this. I think they should be allowed to mediate the thing. So, I'm all set.
Good. I appreciate your comments. Anything else on correspondence or on that Fire Times Northeast Pipeline at this point? Okay. Legal bills. Mr. Dagan.
Mr. Chairman, I move to approve legal bills for November 2000 in the amount of $5,633.49 as follows. Complement and Page, PC General, $4,615.74. Complement and Page, PC Labor, $675. West Publishing Corp., $192.75. American Arbitration Association, $150, for a total of $5,633.49.
Second. Motion duly made and seconded. Any discussion?
What is the American arbitration, what is that for?
I'm sorry?
American arbitration, what is that bill for?
What page?
I would imagine we'll still have an arbitration hearing that we're responsible for part of the,
That's correct.
Yeah.
in other words, we pay for half the arbitration.
Right, but what was it for?
Be in the
It's in
breakdown.
our breakdown.
It's in the breakdown. Which case it was for.
Okay, that is, Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
Okay. That is the administrative fee for an arbitration of hearing, I think it's in June or July, scheduled regarding original date of employment for a clerical employee.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes.
I had one other, who is DOE?
Department of,
Department of Education.
Education.
But is that all Department of Education, all these calls?
all these.
Looking at
Oh,
the
no, no,
company
no, no.
records?